Assalamu alaikum and good morning. Welcome to our speaker and fellow students to our first slot for today, Grand Career Talk by alumni for the mechatronics majoring. The objective of this slot to expose students to the current work practices as opposed to the mainly theoretical knowledge being taught in the university. First, let me introduce our speaker for this slot. We have Mr. Zamhari bin Zaidi. He is an assistant general manager for rewards and performance management at TM. So students, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat box, or you can save them for the Q&A session later on. The registration form will be provided in the chat box, so please you are required to fill in the form. Can we have the link please at the chat box, please? Okay, so we have the registration link. You may fill it, please. So without further ado, I would like to invite our speaker for today, Mr. Zamhari bin Zaidi, to deliver his talk for today. Please welcome.
Thank you, brother. Mr. Muad, right?
Isam. This is Isam.
Okay.
Yes.
See, there's two names here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. Assalamualaikum and very good morning, everyone. Thanks for inviting me this morning session for our careers for engineers. So before I proceed, how many of us here in our group actually for under mechatronics?
We are all 16 participants.
16, 16, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, okay, let me start with my presentation on deck. So before that, I would like to invite everyone, if you have any question or issues that you want to share with our team here, please ask directly, or else you also can wait for our Q&A session. That let me share my my screen. Okay, everyone can see the deck, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay, here I'm Zamhari bin Zaidi. I'm from Telekom Malaysia. I believe that everyone know about the Telekom Malaysia, one of the JLC company in telecommunication. I think one of the top telecommunication company other than other telcos. So I've been working with Telekom Malaysia for quite some times actually. For this is going to be the coming 1st November will be my 14 years and 1 month joining Telekom Malaysia. So I came from the mechatronics degree, but then I'm joined telecommunications, so the different industry. I mean, in terms of what we've learned from the university. So I started joined the Telekom Malaysia under call center. So looking into the total improvement of the customer experience, which involve a meeting with our colleagues and our partners and customer from international customer. So the international customer is from the US, from Bangladesh, India, Thailand, from the Arab country, from UK, and so on. So this is a global customer that we dealing with. So it's totally different from what we have learned from mechatronics. That's I did for quite some times. In terms of the improvement of the system, the customer experience before I joined the HQ, doing the overall improvement for our people in terms of learning and development, the growth. So a lot of engagement to our engineers, come up with the competency-based structured training for our engineers, because we have a lot of engineers under my department at that time. We have 1,200 engineers, the young engineers, so on the telecommunication industry. And then I moved into CME, or Civil Mechanical Electricals team that's doing all the facilities for Telekom Malaysia. So if you can see the building throughout the Malaysia, all the TM building, exchanges, Ibu Sawat, and so on, that's the part of the building or the areas that I'm taking care in terms of the restoration, the maintenance of the building, icon, the lift, the electricity, and the cleaning, so many things under the civil, mechanical, electrical components at that time. And that time, my position is under manager before I been promoted to head of the human capital business partner, looking into the overall spectrum of the HR, from the interviews, training, onboarding, dealing with the industrial relation, people, the consequence management, engagement, communication, workforce management, and a lot of under HR spectrum. So from the engineers, from all the engineerings I did previously. So when I joined HR, it is a little bit shock for me because I have to learn new things. So today I'm going to share how we as an engineer can actually further our career, not only in the engineering department or as an engineer, but we also can success or to be a leaders in different industry. And now I'm taking care for the group of Telekom Malaysia. For Telekom Malaysia, we have around 24,000 of employee under Telekom Malaysia. So you just imagine 24,000. So my task is basically looking into the total reward and remuneration. So looking into the remuneration, meaning that is basically on the people's salary. How are we going to come up with the structured salary? Of course, there is something very interesting. You can ask me what is the basic salary the market offered to our young engineers, our fresh graduate, and the career, the transition, the promotion, all the bending, all the level, and then the benefits, meaning that what is the company will cover you in terms of your medical benefit, the flexi benefit, the flexible working arrangement, you can work from anywhere, and so on. That's under benefit. And of course, we also have short-term incentives. So that's also part of my roles or my function, that looking into the short incentive bonuses, the annual bonuses for the employee. Okay, so that's basically about me. And okay, let's go into what is the interesting topic, because this morning we're going to have until what time, Mr. Esa? The presentation. Until what time?
It should be you have time until 12:40.
12:40. Okay, yes. So I have around 45 minutes to share with the colleagues or with the young engineers here. On first is how to write the good resume. So it is something interesting for you if you want to land your dream job. So you should have your good resume on that. And then the second one is steps to have a successful interview. I'm going to share with you a lot of interview method, the strategy, and also different kind of interview by the various organization or companies. And also the third one, top skill need to impress as a fresh graduate or even as a senior in the position. And also number 4 is how to prepare for your dream job. 5th, no work experience. Yes, I believe this is some of the interesting question will be asked by our student or our engineers here. No problem. So we're going to share with you what is the tips. And of course, the 6th one is the job hunting during the COVID-19 and how we're going to address or how we're going to compete with some of our colleagues during these trying times. Okay, so I think a part of these topics, you are also given opportunity to ask any kind of question that related to careers for the engineers. Okay, let's move on to the how to write a good resume. Just for your information that I'm also part of the team that doing all the interview for the news engineers or for the fresh graduates students. So I also part of the panel. So I'm basically in charge for the HR part, and also if the position is involved with the technical. So the technicals or the engineers will be part of the interview session. So for you to be outstanding or your resume to be I would say to be highlighted by your future employer, first you should have what the simple information about yourself. First, your name, your address. This, if possible, to have only 1 page of the resume. Okay, only 1 page. This is not the curriculum vitae. Curriculum vitae or CV, you can write everything about your experience, the internship training, your final year project, and so on. So you can write more than 1 page. But for the resume, it is a glance by the employer to look into your achievement, what you have done so far. So first about yourself, if possible, if you can put your social media LinkedIn, not your Facebook, yeah. Okay, so anyone here have a LinkedIn? Anyone here? Okay, so I believe that everyone should have your social media LinkedIn. Basically your future employer will check what is your achievement or what is the something topic that you're interested with. So this will be visible by through the LinkedIn. So you should have that your profile for that. So please, if you don't have any LinkedIn account, please right after this session you can start register yourself with the LinkedIn. And at the LinkedIn itself, for your information, you are going to have a open network from different kind of industry. So not only between all the engineers, you're also going to have a connection with different kind of industry, from the banking industry, telecommunication industry, medical or hospitality industry. And just for information, that all the talents acquisition teams, the HR team will be accessed to LinkedIn to pick up the most suitable or the most good talent from this a bunch of people under LinkedIn. So please open your account LinkedIn. Okay, so and another thing that you have to put in your resume is that what you have done so far. So please focus on your achievement. And your achievement rather than the passive thing like I involved with this project and then blah blah blah. But then you have to emphasize on your achievement for that project. For example, you are one of the co-member or the members under your ENGITEX program. Let's say you also one of the member, but then you just don't write your resume is like a member of mechatronics clubs or mechatronic engine ENGITEX clubs and blah blah blah. No, you have to put it more interesting part, like mentioning about as a member what kind of achievement that you want to share with your employer or future employer. So for example, successfully organize a program on and which bring or participate by hundreds of students, or successfully won a competition and or successfully come up with ideas or project that able to reduce the percentage of the environmental impact, the carbon and so on. So this is the thing that you have to emphasize on your resume rather than putting all the passive word. Okay, so as a young engineers or the fresh graduate, also you have to emphasize on your extracurricular activities like clubs and sport. The reason is that we don't want people that only excel in one area, meaning that you have to be flexible, you have to be well-rounded, not only on your curriculum or your courses on the mechatronics, but then you also have to be active in other activity, because in the organization or in the industry, the leaders might assign you with different kind of job that might beyond your current scope of work. For example, you have to lead a program or rewards appreciation night, or also you have to lead the engagement, the team building within your department in the future. So if you don't have this kind of experience, it's going to be seen, but it's going to be clear to the eyes of your supervisor. So you should involve with this kind of activity. So please try to participate any kind of activities during your universities times. Enjoy the session. Please have a colleagues. Please create your own network with others and enjoy the experience. And if you have a volunteering experience with all the other company or non-profit organization, it is most welcome, because we want to see your capability in terms of your leadership, your social skills, and the way you manage with others, because in the industry or in the working environment, you're going to deal with a lot of people, not only from the same level with you. For example, if you want to be as a junior engineers, you might have the opportunity to present to the seniors leader. So this is some of the challenges. So some people will have a little bit of scared to present to the higher level of people, or those having a better experience than you. But then if you have this kind of extracurricular activity, will give you some sort of confidence level to deal with this kind of thing. Okay, so what do I want? Meaning that is that what is your career inspiration? Meaning that in your resume you might mention that I want to be a good engineer in mechatronics or in any kind of industry by providing my skills or providing based on my best experience. So you have to focus on that. If you have digital knowledge, please emphasize on that, because the current prospect of work is focusing on those people that have of those technology and digital knowledge, especially like software, all those 5G in TM, and also the Python and all of the engineering. I mean the software language. Okay, so that's basically on your resume. Please put detail on your achievement. So I open to the question on the good resume. Any questions so far on the good resume?
So far, so good.
How about others? Any questions? Are we? Is it the audience is the 4th year, or are they a fresh, the 3rd year students, or the 4th year, the final year students? Yes, some.
Sorry?
Are they 4th year or the final year students?
Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm a last year student.
Okay,
Well,
so meaning that all of you are looking for the job right now, right?
yes, after my graduation.
Okay. How many semester that you have to attend before the final?
This one and another coming one. So we can say 2.
Okay, so meaning that you have 1 semester left, right?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone here can start write a good resume starting this semester. Actually, you don't have to wait until finish your semester, because the interview session, the interview process will take a lot of hours and a lot of days. So you need to start send your resume or create your good profile, giving a good perspective to the employers starting today. In fact, during my university at UIA, what I did is that 2 months or 3 months prior to the final year exam, I started send all my resume to all companies. You just imagine I attended more than 20 interviews, even though I'm a scholar student, meaning that I already granted to have a position with Telekom Malaysia. But that time I still sending my resume for more than 20 company. So I sent to Shell, Petronas. In fact, before they are looking into your good resume, they need you to attend some of the assessment. Okay, so I will go for it later on my next presentation deck. But then at that time, we are more using the digital print. I mean the hard print of the resume. So nowadays it's really it's not viable to do that. So it is good through good connection with some of the colleagues or some of the professional connection in LinkedIn. So you might send your resume through LinkedIn, and the LinkedIn will usually post some of the vacancies, so you can check, and also the job street and other kind of the career portal. So you can start send your resume, register your profile in the job street, put all the achievements. So when you have to send for the job vacancy, or if you want to apply or submit your resume, so it will be ready if you have all the information. Okay, so any questions so far?
Yes, we have one question from Brother Afif.
Okay.
Yeah, he's asking, what's the HR expectation on LinkedIn?
On
LinkedIn.
Okay, so what we did is that first we're going to check your career, or since you are from the fresh graduates student, what we did is that we're going to check the professional background, meaning that your course of study in the university for us to check. So, and after that, what we did is that we're going to check the detail of your profile, what kind of story, what kind of article that you are interested with, and also your experience. So you can write on your LinkedIn your information, like if you have any deal list, if you are involved with a project, so please put that in your LinkedIn. Okay, try to make it like a story, like a Facebook, but instead of your daily activity, but this time around you have to focus on more on the professional things rather than your personal life. So meaning that if you are previously you don't have any LinkedIn, so you just open your LinkedIn account. So you try to check back your previous activity, make it right, a good story. Okay, for example, you're involved with the project ENGITEX project. Okay, you have a good pictures on that. You have a good, during the process of the joining the program. Please post it into the LinkedIn and then try to have a good lesson learned and what is the achievement on that particular project as a part of your publication or your post. If you have any publication you involved with some project, if you some analysis or thesis, please make it a good write-up and then post it into the LinkedIn and make it available to everyone. Okay, so that's the thing that will be checked by the HR leaders or the talent acquisition teams like myself. So what we did is that we're going to go through all your LinkedIn detail. If we are interested, we're going to call you. So you have to put your phone number. So that make it everything secretive enough, because this is not like a Facebook. This is more on the professional part. And also we might contact you through message. So please don't ignore the message. Just or try to have a good connection. Please add network from those industry people, and just add, okay, and connect with them. Hi, salam, I'm from UAE, so I'm happy to be part of your connection, and thank you for approval and so on. That is, make it very simple. And then after that, if you see that these people are part of the HR team or the leaders in that particular industry that you're interested to join, please ask him if we have any vacancy. Usually the vacancy will be posted in the LinkedIn under the employment. So there is an icon of back icon. Okay, so the back icon is, you just click there, you can filter some of the information, and then you can check anything that related to the position that you're interested with. Okay, and if you have any extra certification, language, the engineering language, the programming language, and so on, make it clear in the LinkedIn. Please put all the your understanding, your expertise level, maybe 1 to 10. You will say that you are excellent in designing the Java language, and so on. Okay, so that's on the good resume. Any other question before we proceed to the next one?
No questions so far.
Okay, so we can further to proceed with the next topic. So this is all about the successful interview. So this is something that interesting. Okay, this is not only in Malaysia. This is also will be general to the other global practitioners, especially among the HR. So basically, we have to understand that if you already receive for the interview invitation, meaning that your resume already been highlighted by the prospect, by the employer, your future employer. So meaning that in terms of your CGPA will be no issue anymore. Okay, so meaning that you already passed the initial criteria or evaluation by the employer. So what else you have to do is that, because in the resume you have a limited information about yourself, you can't sell yourself much on the resume. So that's why they are calling you for the interview to understand further your skills, your knowledge, your something that you're not able to portray on your resume. So number one, to be successful interview is that you have to know what kind of interview is that. Okay, first we have telephone interview, yes, I have that before. Online interview, yes, recently I also have that kind of experience. Competency-based interview and also the panel interview. So if you are giving opportunity to have different kind of interview, please carefully decide the base interview. Okay, please carefully. I have the experience that the interviewer asked me, are you interested to have the telephone interview? No, I asked to have, or I requested to have online, or at that particular time, we don't have online. We are more to face-to-face or physical interview. So please, if possible, try to avoid the telephone interview. Okay, please have a physical or online interview, because the telephone interview, there will be opportunity for any disruptions or any disturbance. So you didn't have a full capacity to show to your future employer that you have more than that. Okay, so it's really difficult to have the telephone interview. Okay, so please focus more on the online interview, like what we have now. This is like online interview or digital interview. So virtual interview. So online interview is the new things of interview due to the recent pandemic. So everyone, so most of the organization usually change from the physical interview to online interview. So you are quite lucky on that. Why I'm saying? Because for the physical interview, they're going to see you from head to toe, how your appearance, how you react. Sometimes when you are sitting at the lobby or in front of the waiting area, some people will see how you react, how you connect, how you communicate, how you speak with others candidate. So ada camera, yeah, CCTV. Sometime until that level. You just imagine for the physical interview, you have to, if you are lucky, you have your transport, that's great. But if you don't have a transport, you have to use all the public transportation. So you have to wake up early in the morning. I mean, have a good dress. Please wear a proper attire, please. I did a lot of interview. Please wear a good attire. We have experienced that people came to the interview wearing a round neck t-shirt or jeans. If you want to be a contractor, that's fine. But if you want to be a professional, white collar engineers, you start with a white collar. Okay, so please avoid that kind of outfit, and don't wear too much of perfume. Okay, please. Okay, so online interview, competency-based interview, and panel interview. Competency-based interview, basically, you have to answer the competency-based question, meaning if you want to be a mechatronics engineer's position, you should have all the basics knowledge on the industry, on that particular technical skill. I have experience, which I learned a lot. I attended this kind of interview, very simple, without asking my name. You coming for interview? Okay, yes. Please have a seat. Okay, please draw this object using AutoCAD or CATIA or any kind of drawings tools. You just imagine, I give you like 1 hour. And that object is quite complicated. You just give like any object that available in the office at that time. For example, giving like headphone. Okay, we are using a lot of headphone right now because due to the virtual session. He just passed me the headphone. Please draw using the AutoCAD this headphone. You just imagine that kind of challenges. This is kind of competency-based interview, and sometimes they ask you about all the formula, very simple formula, and how you to derive on that. from the momentum formula, velocity, all the weight and so on. So how you come up with the solution, because they want to see how you think about how you come up with the answer. Your process, your thought process. So it's quite challenging. That's one interview. I have another one interview that checking me in terms of the speed. The speed you have to answer, it's very fast. The question is this is from Panasonic. I attended the Panasonic before I finished my graduation at UIA. In fact, like 2 months before I graduated, I attended this Panasonic interview. They are giving me like A3 size paper, and then a lot of numbers, all numbers, random numbers. Okay, so what I have to do is that I have to add these numbers in one row and come out the final figures, but then I can't write the full figures. For example, 5 plus 7 equal to 12, but you can't write 12. You have to write 2. You cannot write 1, 2, or 12. You only have to write 2. So a lot of numbers, tick, 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 tick. You have to write all the numbers. You have to complete it in a few minutes. Yeah, giving like 10 minutes. It's the 10 minutes felt like 1 hour, because it's really difficult. You have to, you need to have a sharp eyes. You also have to very fast thinking, and then you always tend to write the 1, 2, for example, but you should write only 2 rather than 1. That's the challenging part of the interview. Okay, so that's a competency-based interview. And also nowadays we're going to have leadership skills, leadership interview. So leadership interview, you're going to attend some sort of assessment prior for the interview. If you fail for that leadership interview, for the assessment, you're not going to be invited for the physical interview. How hard it is. I'm not going to scare you with that kind of interview, but I have that last few weeks. I had that for myself. Okay, I've been received this Cubics. Have you heard about Cubics interview? Any one of you? Cubics, C-U-B-I-K-S, Cubics. So Cubics interview, we have 3 types of question, or many kind of question. One is it on mathematics, maths. The second one is more on the problem solving. And then the third one is on the critical thinking question. So we have 3 types of question. 50 question in 12 minutes. 50 question in 12 minutes. You just imagine, usually we are giving like ample time, like 1 hour for 50 question, right? No, that's not for the cubic question. So some of the organization will use cubics. So please be ready. So you can take note on this, C-U-B-I-K-S, that one of the question that will be you receive. So maybe some of you here will receive that kind of question before being invited for actual or physical interview. So be ready on that. So please have a practice. You just imagine 50 questions in 12 minutes. So how difficult it is. So the question is like, okay, it's not like 5 plus 7. No, not that one for the mathematics. You just imagine, even though for one question you are giving like 24 seconds to answer. They are not giving you like 5 plus 7. No, they are giving you like the graph, the bar chart. So you have to read it, the question first, rather than looking into the bar chart. Read the question first, then look into the bar chart. Not read or see the bar chart or the pie chart or all those graphs and so on, and then answer the question. No, please read the question first. That's one of the tips. And then the second one is on the problem solving. Like you are hiking. Okay, you are hiking. At point A, you see you saw the one duck and one dog. The second point, you'll see another dog, but two ducks. And blah, 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 blah. How many duck, how many, that kind of question. Or sometimes it's very difficult because you need to have a problems, a critical thinking on to answer that. In 24 seconds, you just imagine for one question. And then the third type is that they are giving you like a various kind of figures. Okay, it's better for me if I can show you some of the things. For example, the cubic, interesting, cubic assessment, logic, intermediate, full practice. Okay, let me. How I'm going to share, let me share my new share logic intermediate test. Okay, share. Okay, so this is logic intermediate test. Okay, sample question, sample lesson, free lesson, quick. Usually you're going to perform the intermediate mini test. Okay, please have a look at that. For example, I don't know, this is 12-minute prep. 12 minutes, 50 question. Sorry, it's quite slow here. What is the question? Okay, start. See, which word does not belong to pear, carrot, beet, melon, potato? You are giving only 24 seconds. Which words does not belong to pear, carrot, beet, melon, potato? Okay, you ready on that? Everything is on the ground. Something is not on the ground. Okay. All people who buy cars are chauffeurs. No people who buy cars are male. Conclusion, no males are chauffeurs. If the assumptions are true, is the conclusion correct or cannot be determined based on the information available or incorrect? 24 seconds to think about it. No males are chauffeurs. Okay, conclusion. Okay, interesting, right? Funny, yeah, but that's the thing. Let me check on the logic abstract. I don't know logic abstract. If we have here, I did purchase account to have this kind of question. You might have to purchase if you want to excel on this. If you receive, usually the interviewer will give you the link, and you are only given like 3 days. Okay, on the third days you have to sit for the assessment. So you only have like 2 days to prepare for that. So but then as young engineers that are looking for the job or for the position, this is one of the things that will be used by most of the organization. In fact, global industry are using this kind of assessment. They're going to check in terms of your speed, your accuracy, and so on. See, in the 12 minutes, only 12 minutes. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, any questions so far? Interesting, right? There's a lot of questions like triangle. They are giving you like triangle, circle, and so on. So you have to answer what is the next shape. Okay, that's on that pattern. Okay, so that's it. Type of interview. Okay, research for the employer. So why you want to work with this organization? This is one of the interesting questions that you're going to receive from the employer. Why you see this company is your future employer? What do you want to contribute to this employer? What kind of industry this employer? if you are working with if you are applying for oil and gas company, please check their business, what kind of business they are doing, what kind of industry they are joined to or venture to. If you have the financial knowledge on that particular company, that will be a plus to you. Okay, so please have a research in the employer. Okay, they might ask you about that. Thinking about yourself, please be ready. Please speak a lot. Please prepare a lot. Please practice a lot in front of the mirror. Talking about yourself, usually what you have to introduce is that it's not about your hobby, but then it's about what your strength in terms of your skill, interest, and so on. Not about your personal life. Okay, so they are not going to listen about your personal life. It's just that if they ask you on that question, then you can answer on your personal life. But the rest, usually we are not asking about your personal life. Prepare yourself. Please be ready. Please have a good sleep before or prior to your interview, and take care of your food. And don't eat too spicy food a night before, so you're going to have difficulty later on. Or please don't drink too much. I usually drink too much, but it's okay if you're online interview. But then if it is a physical interview, we just imagine if you're using a public transport, you're always looking into the toilet. Where is the toilet? Okay, so it's really difficult for you. Please, okay, please take care everything from your food, your sleep, and so on. Plan your day. Yeah, please check the location. This is one of the things. Please be punctual. Accessibility to that location. If you have a transport, that's fine. If you don't have transport, you can use like Grab car or LRT and so on. But then please be ready with all the congestion and so on. Okay, being confident with yourself, stay professional, try to speak English even though you have difficulty doing that. Okay, so learn from experience, ask your colleagues, or you might also ask me what kind of interview experience, because I attended more than 20. Just imagine with the Shell, so with the Petronas, a lot of company that attended for the interview. So far, any question before I proceed with the next topic? Interesting, right? Interview, you're going to have that. So,
interview is the most interesting part of getting a job, because you will normally be nervous and all, and you cannot expect what kind of questions to be asked there. So it's really interesting to know all these things about interviews.
Exactly. And then don't forget to read article or recent topic. Okay, a recent topic about the politics, science, technology. Please have a good general knowledge on that. I have the one experience interviewed by Shell. They asked me very simple question just to check my ability to give and point at a very tight time given. The question is that what is this advantage of national park? And then the interviewer just smiled at me, and then taking a note how many I'm sharing with the interview. Okay, one second and how many So if you have like this public speaking class, you're going to excel on that. Okay, so you have to give like a very simple like point, give a 3 points, and then try to elaborate the point. But if we don't have that kind of the strategic or not structured way of thinking, we usually jump from one point to another point, and then another point, or sometimes we lost in the middle of that question. You just imagine, we are always thinking about advantage of national park, and then suddenly they ask me, what is the disadvantage of national park? Oh, my colleagues or my friends at that time is going to attend the same interview, but on the following day. So I asked him to have a knowledge. So my friends receive a different kind of question. the disadvantage of public transportation. So please have a good general knowledge, or maybe if you are working with, you've tried to work with oil and gas company or any manufacturing company, please try to relate the recent topic related to the industry. For example, if you want to work with Petronas, oil and gas, Shell, or any kind of Schlumberger, or any Halliburton and so on, Halliburton, so many oil and gas company, usually they ask you about OSH, operational safety and health. So this is sometimes, and we are not touched in the university. So you have to also have knowledge on the safety. You also have the knowledge on the environmental impact. So please check on the recent article or something that's very hot topic in the oil and gas company. Manufacturing, for example, in the car. I have the interview last few days, asked me about battery, car battery. I don't have any knowledge on that, the car battery. You just imagine, the interviewer just asked a random question. If I want to have, or I want to open a factory, battery factory, how many I should produce in a month, in a day? Why I should produce this kind of battery? You just imagine that kind of question for HR position, not for the engineer's position. You just imagine. So, and then they might ask you on the financial part, because we should have the business acumen, not only on the technical part. That's one of the failure among our engineers. We only think about all the technical jargon, technical things, technical knowledge. We forgot about other things like business. So how the engineers can contribute to the revenue in terms of the profit, of the cost saving. So please relate back. This is not something being taught at the university. You have to read a lot about the general knowledge on the pastoral, political, environmental, social, technology. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so we're moving on to the next one because we are out of time here. Top skill, this is the thing that will be asked usually, leadership. As I mentioned before, we have the leadership assessment skill like Harrison's, not the Harrison Ford, okay, Harrison assessment. So please write HARISSON, Harrison assessment. So Harrison assessment will check your leadership's quality. So in the end, we are using Harrison assessment. So some of the company will have physical interview to see how you engage or lead the session during the interview with other colleagues or other candidates. Communication, of course, you have to excel in terms of delegating and contributing your ideas to the interviewer. Okay, so this is the thing that some of the problem, even for the seniors engineers, they have a problem in terms of the presentation skill and how to impart the knowledge to others. Okay, the teamwork during the interview, you might have to work with others. So how you're going to collaborate with others, problem solving, critical thinking, the question I mentioned just now, or the cubics will assess you on your critical thinking. Like Shell, they ask you very random questions. So how you, the thought process, how you giving the point, how you elaborate the point, and also the emotional empathy, how you going to respond well to others people feeling. So they're giving you kind of scenario, okay, or they ask you your experience at university, how you deal with integrity, how you deal with people in your project that might consider as a sleeping partner, how you deal with this kind of people. So if you have that kind of experience, you involved with the project, you are participate in ENGITEX program or any kind of program, mechatronics day or the UIA day and so on. So it will help you a lot on that. Okay, so this is the top skill need. But for the engineers, of course, one of the talent that we are looking for right now is on the digital part. So if if you have that kind of like language, extra language like C++, Java. Now is a lot of languages like Python and so on, right? So this will be a plus to you because a lot of employer are looking for people that have that kind of digital and automation knowledge. So please brief and also please have that kind of knowledge. And other thing is that should be ready with other simple, not I will say simple, but it's more about the core knowledge. The core knowledge meaning that doing the presentation, the preparing the PowerPoint, using the Excel, because at the university we are usually not used to Excel or the Microsoft tools. So please playing with that kind of tool, because every day during your work you will be using that kind of thing. Words is very simple. The Excel, all the formula, the pivot, the VLOOKUP, and so on. I'm having that kind of issue right now. Honestly speaking, frankly speaking, to all of you as engineers, we should equip ourselves with the core technical knowledge on that. Okay, and how to prepare for dream job, make the transition. You are not going to choose what kind of what time you're working with your employer, not like in the university day where you can choose or you can select courses that start in the afternoon rather than in the morning. But in the office, if the office hours start 8:30, you have to start 8:30, meaning that you have to face all the congestion, the jam, and so on. Please prepare to make the transition. Wake up early in the morning. You just imagine, going back until Maghrib or after Maghrib. So, or running for the meeting from one floor to another floor or from one place to another place. Meeting with all the contractor. If you are as engineers, I used to visit the site from the whole Malaysia. Almost, for example, like almost every month, I'm flying to Sabah, Sarawak, Terengganu, Penang, meeting with all the people, visiting our exchanges, doing checking, all the technical things. So it's very interesting. So please be prepared for the transition. If you are working with the manufacturing company, be ready that you are going to work in the environment where there is a certain rule that you have to follow in terms of the safety. Oil and gas usually will prioritize in terms of the safety. So you have to know how to deal with the chemicals spillage, how to handle the situation. And because as a mechatronics, you're not going to only work on the manufacturing company or automotive industry. No, you're going to work somewhere, because I have seniors, in fact, from our UIA, like Mohtar, if some of you might know him. He also my senior from college at Sarawak. I'm from Sarawak, and also Mohtar is from Sarawak, one of our senior at UIA. He now one of the CEO in the company in the government agency. So you just imagine, from mechatronics, we are working from different kind of industry. So we are not using or implementing our 100% from our courses that we learn from mechatronics, but then as I mentioned just now, that the communication, the leadership skill, how you use your knowledge and experience, that is most important. And learn as much as you can. So there is a lot of things that you're going to learn. Please don't limit yourself. It's not going to be engineers. You only have to do the engineers. You play with spanner and everything. No, it's not going to be like that. Now engineers are usually doing all the preparation. It's like a mechatronic part. You have to do a lot of design. You are going to sit in the office, all the air conditioning office, but you also have to dirty your hands, comes on the ground. but then you're not going to be there 100%. So usually deal with all the senior leaders. You're going to present your proposal, preparing the deck, and so on. Okay, so focus on your brand. Please stretch yourself to come out from your comfort zone, and be open, be flexible to any kind of position. You might start with not as an engineer. You might start as a barista. You might start as a waiter, or you might start as any kind of industry, from hospitality, hotel, for example. You might start from zero. I start as a barista. You just imagine, as a barista, you have to know how to make a coffee, a good coffee. I used to work with Starbucks at that time. 3 months working with Starbucks, and they offered me as a permanent employee, as with the salary equal to engineers. You just imagine at that time, because one of the customer have a good appraisal about me, wrote something interesting about me in the Starbucks portal, and then the regional manager try to search who is the person or who is the barista that this customer explained about. So, and then they found out I'm the one that served the customer. They offered me as a permanent, and the TM at that time offered me certain salary, and then they tried to counter offer at that time. Just imagine, as an engineer, you also can work as a good barista, as a good outlet F&B manager in the future. We never know that. Okay, please don't limit yourself. Hey, package yourself for the job hunt. Like I said, don't give up. I know, don't give up. I attended a lot of interview, more than 20. I would say now it's already 30 interview I attended. Even though I also, one of the interviewer for DM, also learn every day about the interview, because you're not going to see the same condition, the same question. Sometimes it's going to be a different kind of question. Okay, no work experience, no problem. Okay, tailor your resume. Please be focused on the extracurricular activities that you have, and what is the lesson learned and the achievement from that kind of activities, and use your skill by giving a good impression during the interview. Be yourself. Don't overconfident. Don't overconfident. Please don't overconfident. Okay, if that position is just need people that can share, learn, or follow very simple tasks. So please be ready for that, and don't be overconfident or don't be over the top. Why I would say that? Because I used to, I have the experience apply for Petronas at KLCC, only for the position of the at the KLCC there is a playground at the on top of the building. I don't know what we call it. There is a Petronas playground center, which there is students, all the visitors, all the tourists come to the Petroscience. Yeah, okay, Petroscience. Yeah, remember that Petroscience. I'm overconfident at that time. I would say everything about the technical jargon, everything about my experience. So, but they are not looking for that. They're looking for people that have the friendly or customer-based experience rather than people with all the technical knowledge, because they believe that if these people are overqualified, they are not going to stay on that company for a long time. So be ready, be prepared, and know what job that you are looking for. Okay, so apply anywhere, as mentioned. Please, you can start with JobStreet, LinkedIn, and so on, and gain some experience throughout the process. And this is the job hunting during the COVID-19. As mentioned, polish your resume. So be patient. The COVID-19, even though there is people say that during the COVID-19 there is a limit numbers of opportunity of vacancy out there. No, I don't think so, because you might check here in the JobStreet and the LinkedIn. They're always looking for people, for talent. For those and also for the mechatronics student, you don't have to be worried, because the mechatronics engineering, they are open for various kind of industry, from the automotive, from the manufacturing, even for the oil and gas. So sometimes they are looking for people that only have a basic of the engineering, because everything will be teach, and you're going to learn a lot of new things during your onboarding session. Okay, so that's it for the topic, and I believe so we already have now it's at 12:45. If you have any question now.
Yes, it's time for questions now. So we have 2 questions here. So the first question is, how about attire for a virtual interview, semi-formal or formal?
Depending on what kind of position that are you looking for. If you are looking for white collar, usually it's a formal attire. Okay, you can wear a nice white t-shirt, but not round neck. Yeah, please have a collar. Okay, white collar t-shirt with a blazer. Okay, please have a blazer with you. You don't have to wear tie, but then if you are working with some of industry like legal, if you want to be a lawyer, of course there is certain of attire that you have to follow. Or like a banking industry, sometimes they are looking for people that have a very professional look. So please be ready with your blazer, okay, blazer, and your I would say white color t-shirt. That's good, rather than other color like blue, green. Okay, you just imagine if you have a green background and then suddenly you are using the green shirt, and then it's going to be transparent. Okay, so you just imagine that. So the white and black is the best color. Try to avoid different kind of tie if you want to wear a tie. The black is the best. Black tie, no white tie, no bow tie. If you want to be wetter, maybe bow tie. Okay.
Okay. We have another question as well. How having a master degree will increase the probability of getting a job? Should a postgraduate expect more salary compared to the one who only have an undergraduate degree?
Okay. I mean the master and the bachelor degree, right? Okay, so it's depend on what kind of career that you're looking for. Usually we are looking for more on the bachelor degree is sufficient enough rather than the master. Master, if you are expecting to be a lecturer in the future, or you want to be an assistant lecturer, that's should be go for the master. But usually what we start is that the bachelor degree is a foundation for us to learn on the basic knowledge, because in the industry you only use like 30% or lesser than what you have learned in the university. So in the company or in the organization, usually they will going to provide you with other training and learning and growth opportunity. For example, like myself, I don't have the HR knowledge, so I attended a few training which cost me like almost 10,000. You just imagine. So you can't afford to train yourself or further your study outside using your own money. Okay, but in the organization, you only should have a basic foundation like a bachelor degree in mechatronics. That should be sufficient enough. But if you want to be a professor in the future, if you want to be a lecturer, you can go to the master. In terms of the salary, I prefer you can start from ground, meaning that from bachelor degree. There is no much different in terms of the salary offered to those people having a master and also having a degree. In fact, if you have a master, you might overqualify for that position. So we are worried on that. If you want to have a master, you can do that during your work, meaning that part-time. you can do that. So, right.
Okay, guys, this is because we are running out of time, but this is the asking time for you guys. So if anyone have any question, you may drop your question at the chat box, or you just simply open your mic and mute yourself and ask your question. No need for that to be too formal.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you are shy enough today, you don't have any opportunity outside.
Yes.
You should present yourself. You should open your video. You should communicate clearly with your interviewer panel. You don't have opportunity to be silent, to sit somewhere that people never realize your presence. Please, I prefer if you can open your video, ask verbally. If you have communication problem, that will be a very challenges or a disadvantage for you during the interview. Is being a Mandarin speaker an added value? Definitely. I can't speak Mandarin. My sister can speak well Mandarin. I can't. But if you have a Mandarin speaker as added value, yes, I would say that's 100% true. Because some of the organization looking for those people having a third language proficiency. For example, if you are working with a Japan company like Panasonic, Honda, if you have that Japanese as your third language, it will be a good opportunity to be there, to be one of the leaders. So they might send you to Japan to learn or to attend a training, 6-month training, or German. German is one of the best language if you want to learn. And currently I'm learning French, just for your information too. This is part of my interest in terms of the third language. Je parle français.
So I'm named as mechatronics engineer. It's usually automation engineer, for example, or control engineer, maybe software engineer. But as a mechatronics engineer itself, I couldn't find such a job. So do you think as a mechatronics student should be or should be more into a specific field of mechatronics and be aware of other mechatronics fields as well?
The head manager at a very small company, but doing the